What's up, locals? Well, we are back today looking at a really interesting disc. This disc is called the Starbat X UFO from TEMU. You may have seen TEMU. I've seen TEMU a bunch on my social media accounts and things like that. These ads keep popping up for everything under the sun, and I saw this disc and I was kind of curious about it. It's giving me the numbers of a 77-11, which, if you know your discs, that is famously known as a river. This is kind of like an overmold. The plastic, it's cool out right now. As you can see, we've got some snow here, but inside, when I first got this disc, there's definitely like a gumminess to it. This plastic has firmed up because we're outside right now and it's cooling off. We're hitting night here, and so this disc doesn't have quite as much flex. But in terms of like a disc that you buy from a site like TEMU, I will say I've been pleasantly surprised by the quality of it so far. It feels great in hand. I got a couple friends today. Alex Penny, shout out to him. I don't know if we got the footage of him throwing it, but we had a couple throws earlier today, and he was just talking about how unbelievably flippy this disc was. But as we get into the debate, the constant debate about flight numbers, I recognize that this disc is one that, if you're advertising on a site like TEMU, obviously TEMU is not like a high-end disc producer, and they may have just done some quick research, gone, oh, that river's popular with new disc golfers because of the glide, because of its relatively straight flight, and they've tried to do something that kind of mimics that disc. For me, this disc, very glidey. The 7 glide on this disc I think is totally accurate. I released this on a little bit of a hyzer line. It's going to flip up to flat, it's going to turn, and it's either going to S back for the average golfer like myself. The person that doesn't throw that far, you're probably going to love this disc. It's going to have pretty great flight. Plastic feels good, and I think overall, for what it is, I am pleasantly surprised by this disc. So if you're an average thrower looking for something with more glide, kind of curious about this disc could be a great option for you. I got out the other day and threw this disc in some snowier conditions. We just bought this disc ourselves. This was not sent to us. I was just kind of genuinely curious about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. And as I'm talking here, Alex Penny still at the course as the sun is setting. You had a chance to throw this today. Welcome, Alex. Yeah, you had a chance to throw this a couple times today. Quirky one from TEMU, this site that basically just annoys me with their ads for a variety of things. What is your take on this guy?
So I had a great opportunity to throw the Starbat. First thing that kind of caught my mind is this lovely colorway. It's definitely like an overmolded disc. I kind of relate it to like the Clash discs. Throwing it is definitely not a -1-1. I can get behind the 7 speed, the 7 glide, probably a little closer to like a -3-1. It's very flippy, but if you power down on it, it'll glide for a while. Had a chance to throw it on a couple longer holes, and it would hold like a nice S line if I hit it on like a slow arm speed hyzer.
Totally. Our buddy Jason was referring to it before as the disc your grandma or your aunt buys you while she's shopping for other things.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's like the Wishes of the world and the TEMUs. It's definitely a lot of fun to throw. If you're looking for a great beginner disc for somebody, I definitely recommend it. I would tell the person you give it to, though, that it's not a -1-1.
Yeah, don't live by these numbers.
That's
and don't
right.
let these numbers educate you going forward in the sport of disc golf. I was pleasantly surprised overall by the feel of the plastic, the quality. It's better than I expected. I know a lot of people have been really curious about this disc. When we see these ads popping up, you're thinking, is this thing a joke? Is this actually real? Should I give this any of my actual attention? And I would say, for the average thrower, this definitely could be fun. If you're looking for a disc that's going to be a straight disc, you're going to get a little bit of turn out of it. If you're newer to the sport or have a slower arm speed, you're probably going to have a lot of fun with this disc. If you've got a ton of power, your technique's dialed, this disc is either completely unuseful
or a roller disc.
Or a roller disc. Yeah, it's got that, I guess, going for it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd compare it to a a Virus or a Sidewinder, something pretty flippy and like that 7 speed. rim, so something a little easier, a little more comfortable in the hand. But yeah, I agree. Plastic feel is great. I was actually surprised as well by the plastic feel. Feels like a great disc, just a little flippier than the numbers say.
Now, as I say that, I'm just looking at the rim on it. You can see this is like day 2 of throwing this, and the plastic is kind of chipping on the edge here. If I can get this to like zoom or focus here. It remains to be seen how long. I'm going by like first impressions of this, how this feels in hand right now. But I will continue to test with this disc, and if I have any like sort of follow-up thoughts or experiences with like how the plastic holds up over the long run, I wouldn't expect it to hold up as long as established manufacturers that have been doing this for years. So take with this like, as you will. But a lot of people have been curious about this disc, so these are our initial thoughts. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. My name is Ryan, and this is Alex. This is Local. We are local.